Well, worries about homelessness and housing and trust in politicians are among the issues vexing voters across the south. Our political reporter Tristan Pascoe took the South Today Red Sofa to the seaside this week, where constituents in Bournemouth East told us the town needed more help to tackle rough sleeping. They also said that the current betting scandal had undermined their trust in politicians.
How are we feeling about politics at the moment, Bournemouth?
I want to talk about politics while I'm on holiday, thank you very much.
There's a lot of that about.
So what matters to you at this election?
Housing.
First to join me on the sofa, Andrew Talbot, who runs We Are Humans, a local homeless charity.
We've got people sleeping rough on our streets, under our piers, in tents, on park benches. Our ex-military veterans sleeping in shop doorways. It's what's going to get my vote is what are you doing about homelessness? What are you doing about building houses for families, communities?
Tony Spotswood, former chief exec of Royal Bournemouth Hospital, and his wife passed by. She didn't want to talk.
You're excited?
Absolutely.
He did.
Come and join me on the South Today sofa.
Yeah, I think the big issues are around, firstly, cost of living and affordability, both for young people, for families and for older people, and also about the ethics and morals of actually telling the truth. And the last few years, I think, have been a huge disappointment for many people.
And the last few days as well, with a few people with knowledge of the date of the election apparently betting on the outcome or the date of it.
Absolutely. It's difficult to believe that actually that's taken place, but the evidence suggests that people have had inside information and have sought their own gain as a consequence of that, and that's clearly not acceptable.
Steve and Denise also want honesty from their politicians.
The big problem I have now is the first time in years, well, in my life, that I don't know who to vote for anymore.
Is there anything that any of the parties could say right now to give you that confidence to know where to put your vote?
I don't know. It's a very hard question, because I won't believe them. That's the problem.
What matters to you at this election?
I would like a government that I could trust. Hopefully, by listening to all the candidates and what they've got to say, I might be able to find somebody I trust enough to vote for.
Well, we've heard lots from members of the public here in Bournemouth this morning, particularly about housing, homelessness, the cost of living, and indeed trust in politicians. Let's see what the candidates standing for election here have to say about that.
A lot of the problems we face are homelessness. These are all actual political choices. You know, there was a conscious decision that we would set up our economy in this way. The number of food banks has rocketed, you know, and that was a political choice. And I think people recognise that they can't trust the current crop of politicians to make the right decisions all the time. There's a real feeling that integrity is missing in politics nowadays.
Tobias Elwood,
Great to see you.
join us on the South Today sofa.
I'll put my hand up and say it's been a turbulent period the last few years, no doubt about it. You know, the end of Boris Johnson, the Liz Truss and so forth. Understandably, people have been shocked and demoralised, disappointed by where things have gone. So all this stuff to do with bets, a number of individuals, you know, choosing to do this, what they were thinking, I just simply don't know. And it needs to be dealt with robustly.
If I'm absolutely honest with you, I think people are putting the betting scandal alongside Partygate, alongside everything that's gone before for many, many years, and they want the circus to move on. They want sober, responsible government again that will just get us out of the hole that we're in.
I think part of this comes about as a result of our election system. We give a huge majority to 40% of the vote, which means that certain parties and individuals within them feel they've got total licence. I know people reflect on the coalition badly, but the good thing about coalitions, A, it's an honest representation of how people vote, but also you've got other entities looking over the shoulder of the other parties, and that, I think, helps keep us all in check.
Come and join us on the sofa, Martin.
You look around, particularly Bournemouth town centre as well, and see the number of people who are living homeless. The immigration centres, the asylum centres, a lot of places have taken over hotel accommodation or accommodation that could be used for temporary accommodation for people who are homeless to get them back in. But, you know, there is a physical limit to the number of homes there are in the constituency.
So that's some of their voices. Thanks for telling me that on the sofa. But remember, it's your vote that really counts on July the 4th. Come and tell us about the election.
Joe Cronin is standing as an independent and wasn't able to join us on the sofa. He says his top 3 priorities are looking after the health and well-being of children, climate change and adopting proportional representation. Well, tomorrow we're back on the water as part of BBC's Your Voice, Your Vote campaign. Our reporter Clodagh Stenson is travelling the waterways on her narrowboat from town to country to city, reaching Oxford for the final leg of her journey where she hears the views of people there.